Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the reorganization meeting of the Board of Education. At this time, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, to start things off, Ms. Porio, would you please administer the oath of office to our two new trustees, John Nat and Anthony Mangione.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, name,
John, I am Emmanuel.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the State of New York,
The Constitution of the State of New York.
and that I will faithfully discharge
And I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
board member
board member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Congratulations, John and Anthony. The second order of business at this time, I'd like to call for the nomination of officers.
I nominate Pete Van Middelum for president.
I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Those in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
I guess, that's it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, President Van Middelum. Now nominations for Vice President. Is
I
there,
nominate Paul Stout for vice president.
I'll second.
are there any other nominations? Okay, raise of hands.
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Paul.
Congratulations.
Vice President.
Board, I just had a quick question.
Sorry, I'm new here.
There'll be times when all board members aren't present at meetings internally or externally. Is it the president and the vice president's duty to represent all 7 members at those meetings? We could talk a little bit about that.
I think we'll talk about that, and when we both talk about Zoom, in case you have to travel.
Right, that's what I'm speaking about, yeah.
So we'll let everyone know we're
Okay.
discussing on accommodations.
Perfect, okay.
We've done Zoom before. on board.
I remember some of it.
Current Zoom legislation is changed, and you may want to seek counsel on that because we don't have a policy in place for Zoom. There is a method to create a policy for Zoom that we would have to institute. I have a form that shows what the current legislation is that allows it. It's pretty straightforward based on what the board adopts, but it would have to be an adopted board policy.
We should check with Devin tomorrow regarding that policy. Okay, now let the board
Thank you.
know.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, President Van Middelum, are you ready to take over the agenda?
Nope, he's going to get sworn in first.
I think it's for
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Swearing in the Vice President President.
some swear.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of President, Vice President, according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Now, Pete, are you ready?
Okay.
Did you read that?
I do, Robert.
I do.
All right, Green. I just wanted to say thank you to my fellow board members, and I wanted to welcome Anthony and John. This is a noble cause. They're volunteering their time. I appreciate them stepping forward. I think it's very important for their role here in helping grow this district. This is I think it's the first time a president, vice president of both products in this school district. But I'm pretty excited about that. I've known Paul a long long time, and I know Paul did a great job. So let's get started. Thank you for everyone who's showing. Okay, thank you for everyone in Facebook land. All right, so we're going to go to number C, school district officers, board appointees. Robert, could you please read that first line?
Sure. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves appointments 1 through 5 as listed.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Ed, could you please read this? What we did is we have a consent agenda, just so we don't have to read all this information. This is something that is done every year. The information is presented. It was actually presented to all of the board trustees prior when we reviewed the agenda, and all the trustees concurred. So I'm going to, Ed, could you please
Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves items D through J as listed.
I'll second that.
Robert, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we're at the portion of the regular monthly board meeting. Karen, could you please read approval of minutes?
Page 6.
Page 6. I'm sorry, page 6, Karen. Karen is on vacation right now because she's not teaching. I will add a little bit, Karen.
Approval of the minutes. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby accepts the minutes of the June 14th, 2022 regular meeting as submitted.
Second.
Thank you, Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you, that carried. Okay, now this is the 15-minute, any questions from the community, anything that's related to the actual agenda that you have in front of you. So if there are any questions, please feel free to ask. There's a lot of people. Very good. Oh, that's right, okay.
Hey, Pete?
Yes, sir.
We may want to offer this opportunity for the new board members' families to excuse themselves if they so desire.
Sure. The new members of the family, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. And you got a chance to see.
Thank you and good evening.
Yes, you have a good evening. And thank you for allowing them to serve. Yes. You guys automatically entitled to high school?
By order of the Board of Education, you're entitled to
We're going to John and Eileen.
Oh, ice cream without a doubt. All right, number 5, personnel. Paul, could you please read the first one? Ed?
Got it. Personnel, resignation. Resignation Sylvia Francis. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Sylvia Francis, social studies teacher, effective June 30th, 2022.
Can I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Comments?
Any comments? Robert, could you please give some
Sylvia
comments?
Franchise joined us from Bayport, and sadly, she is returning to Bayport and has been an extraordinary contribution to our school district. We will miss her, but we do wish her well.
Thank you, Robert. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Paul, can you continue with me, please? 2, please.
Resignation, Nicole Sainer. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Nicole Sainer, school district aide, effective July 9th, 2022.
Can I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Anthony, could you read the appointment number 1, please?
Social Studies teacher Richard Suzinski. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves the following appointment as listed. Name of employee, Richard Suzinski. Appointment date, August 31st, 2022. Expiration of appointment, August 30th, 2026. Probation period, area, social studies teacher, compensation, step 1, MA.
Thank you, Anthony. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Richard, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, but we have to second it first, so it's not official yet. So.
You got it.
Don't write
Who is that,
No
Robert?
pressure, no pressure.
Who is that, Robert?
I second it. We got the.
Paul did? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, now,
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
now, ice cream.
Thank you.
No.
Ed, could you read number 2, please?
Substitute teacher dispatcher. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby appoints Matthew Dyroff as substitute teacher dispatcher for the 2022-23 fiscal year as per the administrator's contract.
Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No? Karen, could you please read number 3?
Office assistant, part-time, resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves the following appointment. Nicole Zaner, July 11th, 2022, part-time office assistant, compensation, step 1.
I'll second
Could I have a
that.
second? Robert, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Robert, could you please just read A,
Yes.
action items?
Action items, Committee on Special Education. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education has no objections to the following special education recommendations and approves the authorization for the funds to implement the special education programs and services consistent with such as listed.
Thank you. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ed. Could I have a vote, please? Yes? No? So yes, all affirmative?
Favor?
Aye. Favor? Aye. Opposed? No? So carried. All right. John, it's not a reflection on you and your time in Suffolk County Police Department. Could you please read number B? Absolute equipment.
B, obsolete equipment. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby declares the following items as obsolete and further authorizes disposal as listed.
Could I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
We'll give it, I'm going to give it to Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. All right, this one, Paul, we're going to give you because you're the lunch guru here. So would you please read number C?
Lunch contract. Resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby extends the contract for school lunch with Whitson School Nutrition Corporation for the 2022-23 school year at an increase of May 2020 Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers in New York, Northeastern, New Jersey area.
Wait, can I just ask you a question? It's 2022, okay, it's a typo, that's what I thought. Okay, Paul, could you just read the 2022, please?
At an increase of May 2022 Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers in New York, Northeast, and New Jersey area.
Thank you. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, so carried. Okay, now we're at the question. Any other questions from the community? Richard, you excluded? Just anything to do with anything that's going on right here on this beautiful July 6th day here in Mount Sinai? Ms. Hine, nothing?
I have no problem. I'm just here to support my new social studies teacher
Oh, yes.
and new board president. Yes.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate, listen, I appreciate the effort of you too in finding, in this time to find Richard. It was a little, time in the end there. I mean, I know you've been, busy hiring some staff this year, but thank you very much.
Mr.
All right.
President, I know that Jill Sanders is here.
Oh, Jill.
I'll make a motion to adjourn for a meeting of the external auditor, executive session.
Could I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, so moved. We're going to move to executive session to meet our external auditor. All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Congratulations.
Yes. Now we're going to
Cookie done.